All right guys, let me ask you a question. Do you know that feeling when you hit your tee shot, watch that ball flight come straight off the face? It's one of the best shots you've hit all day. Straight down the middle of the fairway. Walking up to the ball, you're excited, you got your chance of making your birdie. And then you find this. Your golf ball sitting in someone else's divot. Well, worry not, because in today's episode of 5 Minute Friday, I'm going to show you how to take advantage of this situation. Make sure you're not losing any shots out on the golf course. Stay tuned. Look guys, there's no way around it. This situation sucks. You've hit a great shot, you're in the middle of the fairway and you're in someone else's divot. Well, good thing is there is a way to play this, and there's a way to play it quite successfully. The very first step that we're going to need, we look at our club selection. So I have 91 meters to the hole here, which for me normally would be a nice little knockdown gap wedge, 3/4 length shot, try and knock it in there. Today, I'm going with my 54-degree wedge instead of my 50. Well, it's gotten a little bit windy, but don't worry, I made the catch. Anyway, as I was saying, normally 91 meters would be a nice little knockdown 50-degree wedge for me. Try and get it in nice and close like that, not a full swing. Today, I've gone with the 54-degree. We want to take a little bit more loft. The reason for it, guys, is we need to do something a little bit different in our setup to be able to play this shot correctly. Normally, we know when we're playing our wedges, we got it middle of our stance more or less, and we're trying to take a nice good swing at it, hit the ball first, then go into the ground. Well, unfortunately, while we got our golf ball in a divot like we do here, it's actually below the surface of the ground. It then makes it a bit harder for us to get down to the ball and make good contact. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that we're coming in a little bit steeper down into the ball. And the way we do that is actually quite easy. We adjust our setup position to make that golf ball playing a little bit more towards our back foot. We get our golf ball further back in our stance, and we're going to push our hands just a little bit further forward to create some extra shaft lean. What does this do? This actually takes loft off the golf club. So the reason why we wanted to go up to a more lofted club is because we are actually de-lofting it in our setup.
All right guys, so it just got a little bit windy, so I'm just going to do this little voiceover to elaborate on what I was saying. Yes, by de-lofting the golf club, we are able to take a higher lofted club. For anyone who's not sure, and this is why I wanted to make this a little bit clearer, loft is what actually gets the ball in the air. That is what determines how high the golf ball launches off our club face. So when we play it back in our stance and de-loft the club, that golf ball is going to launch lower with a lower trajectory than what it normally would playing its standard loft. So that's why we're able to take that little bit extra loft, because when we de-loft that club, it's still going to come out roughly at what the higher club would be. So what I mean by that is where I would normally hit a little gap wedge, I take my sand wedge and I'm going to de-loft it, and it's actually going to de-loft it down to roughly a gap wedge's loft. So we're not going to lose too much difference in the height. It's going to come out pretty similar to a gap wedge, and we're going to be able to get a little bit steeper and make better contact in that divot.
So when you get into this position where we have that golf ball a little bit further back in our stance and we got a bit more shaft lean, it actually makes it easier for us to get steeper down in the ball and focus more on coming down on top of the ball and then into the ground. Final step, guys, once we got our setup in order, is the swing. Now the swing, you need to make sure this is powerful. You need to make sure you're taking a nice full swing out of this to get your best result. And the reason for it is we got to make sure we got speed heading into that ball. If it goes down into that ground and we start slowing down or decelling, we're going to make a mess of this. So if we put it all together, golf ball further back in our stance, and we take a nice firm swing, let's see what happens. Now, as you can see, took the shot, made really good contact. Golf ball ended up a little bit short because it got stuck in the wind. But most important part about this, come out there, fix your divot. That way, no one else going to end up in the same problem you did. Alright guys, I hope I found that useful. Understandably, getting into a divot when you're in the middle of the fairway is never going to be a great feeling. Hopefully after watching this, you know how to take care of it. Make sure you take full advantage of the shots that not everyone knows how to play. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button, even give us a You subscribe, really do appreciate it. And comment down below, did this help? What would you like to see next? I love seeing the comments and I'll always try and answer whenever I see them. But other than that guys, hope you enjoy your weekend and continue golfing.